Hey, loves, Liz here. How are you? I'm pretty fine. Today, my topic's going to be, quote, they use you to create, unquote. All right. So who's they? Well, I like to call the who's they the bad guys for the algorithm. You can call them the cabal, corporations, media, mainstream media, governments, religions, the heads of religions. I call them global handlers. You can call it the system. So I'll just continue to say the bad guys or global handlers. The global handlers, they do dark occult work. Whether you know this or not, they're doing dark occult work against humans all the time. Now, I do believe it's waning. I do believe they're weakening and they've lost some money and finances to do sinister things to humans. But I want to talk about, I think they're still trying. I feel like they're just dumping the bottom of the toy box with stupid little plastic parts of toys and little Tonka trucks that were broken with the wheels come off. And they're trying all this old stuff to try to cause us harm. But I think it is on the wane. But I wanted to tell you about this anyway, just to give you some info for what it's worth. I mean, if it drops and you like it, use it. If not, go on to the next video. But if you don't know, there are agencies, people doing dark occult work. You can call it satanic rituals. There's something called SRA, satanic ritual abuse, where they harm animals, they harm humans. I'm not going to go into it. They cause lots of harm to humans. This is a lot of human trafficking is used. The humans are used for these things. Okay? We've been enculturated. We've been trained. We've been encouraged culturally with all the systems I mentioned, religions and things like that, to try to avoid occult things like magic because we think it's all bad. But I break it down into two categories: dark occult and light occult. Light occult is where you light a candle to bless someone or their home or a relationship when you're sending out blessings, but you're using candles or oils or something like that. That's light occult work. Praying for somebody is light occult work. Dark occult is when you're doing it for harm or to curse someone or to kill someone. All right. Now, I'm not saying here that you ought to do ritual or ceremonial magic or anything like that. I'm just explaining. Do it if you like, do it not. I was just having a conversation with a friend yesterday, which inspired this video. So I'm a shaman, practicing shaman, and I'll do ceremonial work to thank the earth, thank people, to bless people. I say that I only do light work because what happens is I feel like I haven't always done this. I've been a little naughty in the past. But I do light work only now because the universe is just one field and there's a gigantic cosmic web that connects all of us. And so if you send out harm, blessing, gossip, mean talk, whether to the person directly or in your mind, just hating on someone or resentful or unforgiving towards someone, I know we all have been there. It goes out to the universe and comes back to us and ends up causing us harm. Anything you send out comes back to you. So I believe as we're able and willing, it's important to only bless. Okay, only bless. Again, I understand if you're in your feels and you're really pissed off, you're ticked off and you're angry, by golly, feel the feelings, feel your feels. Do not compartmentalize. But I would just suggest as you're able and willing, put a time boundary on that and then begin to bless the person or at least go neutral, go, okay, well, that happened. What's next? Or they're perfectly themselves. But anyway, wanted to remind you of that. That's why I do the mindset work with clients that I do, because I do believe there's some karma. You can create karma for yourself if you send out thoughts of harm to others. Karma is simply action and reaction. What you do comes out. When you bless, you get the blessing. When you curse, you get the cursing, right? So do ceremony if you like, bless if you like, don't, you're the boss of your reality. I'm just saying this is truth as I see it. Now, so the bad guys, our global handlers, do dark occult work. And I'm here to tell you that because they do dark occult work, they don't have the energy, love, and wisdom and power from source. They're cut off. That's their karma, actually. And they have to use us. So let me explain. I was talking to a friend about this the other day. I had a reason a couple of years ago to be invited to a local ceremony of people who do occasionally dark occult work. It was local. I said, let me stop by for the day. I got a day pass. I joined to hear some of this information. Sometimes I hit the rumble strips in life, so you don't have to. So to say, what are they up to? Right. Well, I noticed that everybody, well, most, maybe 87% of the people at this conference were grossly unhealthy, grossly unhappy, mean, nasty, snarky, grumbly. They were not welcoming to me as a newcomer. They're riding around in motorized wheelchairs, dressed out at 350 pounds. Not to say that if someone's fluffy, they're mean. I'm just saying what I believe to be so. I just looked at in general all these people and I just saw their karma coming back. These people were doing classes on how to harm, curse, and kill people. Why were you there, Liz? Yeah, I know. So I just felt and sensed that there's a lot of karma coming back home to roost. They were old, they were unattractive. I mean, nothing about being old. I'm just saying, uh, unnaturally old for their age. They were 30, but they looked 60. Uh, and they'd gone gray already and saggy skin. I'm just saying, like, in every way, it seemed like they were actually causing harm to themselves. Okay, so you can see it on them. Their meanness was coming home to roost, as it were. So the global handlers need you. Now, the global handlers cull or groom people at the very tops of religions, secret societies, corporations, governmental leaders, leaders of state department, like a State Department, Council of Foreign Relations. I'm talking about U.S. based, but heads of governments, if people in the billionaire club, they all get groomed and managed to conduct themselves in this way, and they're forced to be part of these things, or they become willing participants in these things. So they need us. They need our energy. They've been cut off from sources, wisdom, light, and energy, as I said, and power. So they need to grow. They need to grow their stuff from us. So how do they do it? Well, they come out with narratives over mainstream media, commercials, ads, corporate symbols, okay, and what they tell us to do, narratives of what's good and not good, of what they want us. Of course, they consider us. You probably a lot of you probably know about this. They consider us farm animals or even insects. They consider us mouth breathers, useless eaters. Have you heard this? We're just good little batteries for them. In other words, they farm. Now, again, I think that this ability is waning, that they can't do it as much anymore. But I'm just telling you about it and telling you a little bit about our history. So what does it do? Well, they suck up as they tell you the narratives of the very scary things that are happening. The weather. Have you heard that the Weather Channel and stuff? They exaggerate weather. There's some fun videos out there where some guy's holding onto a pole, going, "Oh my God, the hurricane's really hitting." Or during Hurricane Michael, this happened. Well, I was watching a YouTube channel of two people who lived down at the North Carolina beaches, and they they put themselves, they were walking behind the news guy with an umbrella and a little doggy, and they're holding hands, and they're just walking by in shorts and a t-shirt, showing that there really wasn't the weather. There's some fun memes and TikToks and stuff out there about that. So there's a lot of fakery, but they cause you fear, anxiety, they cause you angst, they cause you depression, shame, grief, all that low stuff they harvest, or at least in the past, they harvested that energy and they used it to power their dark ends. Okay. So they use this system. All right. Now, again, I do think it's ending. Okay. I do sense it's coming, but I just want to share this info with you. All right. So there's a couple of different areas of PSYOP as I've seen. Okay. So we have mainstream news, as I mentioned. And I'll say that most of my friends and family, whom I love very much, are normie muggles, where they believe what the news is saying. They believe what it says about the weather and about financial events and things and things and things and what's going on. They're taking out, when they take out leaders, it's when the people in the big club aren't playing by the global handler rules anymore. So they'll download nasty things on someone's computer, arrest them, and put it out that they're going down because they've trafficked people. And maybe they have, but also it's possible that they were, as I say, what I say, what's it called? I can't think of the word right now, but they've been, when they have something on you, I can't think of the word. You know what I'm talking about. They have data on you or facts on you. They could put blackmail you. Yeah, and there's another word for it too. They blackmail you. Sorry, everybody, missing words here. So there's the mainstream news where they do these kinds of things. Now, I don't try to tell my Muggle friends anything. I just love them. I just love them because that's where we're at. I'm always ready to have hope and an answer when I get questions, but sometimes I drop seeds, but I never try to spout truth or what I think is truth because, hey, I could be wrong. Then there's the alt-right media, the Q Patriot folks. Again, I was in there until a couple of years ago. If you know about this, or you know about the alt-right news, like rumor mill news and things like that, real raw news, stuff like that, it's a real messy place to be. But I feel that there are operatives over there too that are also trying to put out, in this case, they're trying to tell the patriots, say, this is in the US and Western countries where people do love their country. They feel like they're putting out intel telling us what's going to happen. So we're on the in, like when the solar flash is coming, when the financial event's coming, when Nasara Jasara and the RV, all these things, when med beds are coming out. So now we're on this group of people are on the inside and they really know. And they're also prepping because they're waiting for the bad stuff to happen. Yeah, they're ready for the Mad Max world. But I feel like these are operatives. Many of them are operatives that are putting out from three-letter agencies intel, but it's not intel. It's what the three-letter agencies or the global handlers want to do to us, what they're trying to do to us. What I'm here to tell you that they can't, or what they want. If they want to do 100% to us, maybe they get to 11% or 5%. It's still bad. It still harms humans and animals and our planet, but it's not the 100% they're looking for. I believe in the recent incidents that we've had, they've tried to kill our population a bunch of times, but it just never works because biology always finds a way to heal and help. So they put this stuff out as intel, and it also causes angst, pain, fear, anger, resentment, depression, anxiety, shame, grief, and they try to loose that from us over there as well. So again, I do believe this is all coming to an end. But they use this stuff, as I said, to cause disease, earthquakes, other natural disasters, volcanoes, tsunamis. And they do, by the way, they do set off earthquakes. If you're watching this in April of 24, you know what recently happened in Taiwan. Okay, so they program you to the thing. They actually program you to think a certain way. Like it's called a problem reaction solution. That's the Hegelian dialectic. It's also known as order out of chaos. So chaos will be created for us where we ask for safety and security. Whenever you hear anyone say, it's for your safety, think, it's for your security, think control. So, when airplanes crash into buildings or when mass shooters, many of us believe these are false flags. People are truly harmed. That's not the false part. The false part is that it just happened. I believe these events are set up. Okay. They're set up. And we're programmed to want safety and security and want the instant pill. I have a funny story about, how they put on drug ads on the news, on mainstream media and on television. That's why they call it programming. And it'll be some drug for allergies, and it'll come back in a smaller, lower voice saying, may cause depression, suicidal tendencies, anal leakage, something like that. So I had a friend, I was staying with a married couple of mine. Again, lovely, wonderful, normie muggles. And they had MSNBC on. So I was trying to get my cup of coffee and get out of there. But so as my friend, I'll call him George, was pouring me a cup of coffee, he goes, I draw the line at anal leakage. And we both had a chuckle at the drug that's meant to help with the symptoms of something mild can actually cause something much, much worse. But they are programming you to want it. And they're also getting permission to tacitly harm you by saying these things and to cause you to have all those diseases. They use you to create. All right, I've talked enough, but what do we do about it? Well, I'm telling you in part, not to scare you. I don't want to add to this mess. What I want to do is to help you be of good cheer and be amused and perhaps a little curious about it. So what do we do? It's really, I don't know, you can get to a level at some point where it's just all pretty freaking funny. Like what's going on. I do believe we souls on the planet now knew we were coming to the planet at this time for this reason, to help. Like have you read the Bible at all, the Old Testament book of Esther? We've come for such a time as this to be light workers or helpers, to help out, to be of assistance at this time, whatever you want to call it, however woo you want to get about that. So the more you can be amused and curious, it's better for your soul. It kind of ups your vibes and ups your emotional level. So that'll be number one. Number two, I would say when you hear this shit, like, about, may cause anal leakage, destruction, depression, suicidal tendencies, you can just say, I don't consent. Here's some things you can say. You can say, cancel. You can say, cancel, clear, delete. You can say, scratch that. You can say, I do not consent, or something like that. And then you're telling your subconscious not to take that in and create it for yourself or anybody else. I do that all the time. Number 3, as you're able and willing, you could do your inner work, your personal work, your shadow work. Again, as you're able. And the simplest way is to ask, what hurts right now? What's bugging me today? What's pissing me off? And you put that at the top of a journal page and you just write about it. Or you can just sit in a chair and just let the thoughts flow over you and feel those feels for just a couple of minutes. I'm really angry. Blah. I'm really sad. You can feel your feels and it will come up and out. They're coming up to say hi and bye. Okay, so you can do some as you're able. This is why I do the work I do to help people, because sometimes it's nice to be in community and have a coach to remind you that is your subconscious programming that's causing you to trip up. Number 4, you can do your spiritual protection, and grounding and running energy. You can simply put a golden ball of light around you, about 6 feet out from your solar plexus. That's an area right below your diaphragm and your sternum. You can learn how to run energy and do more of that if you want. You can use different colors. You can use white or silver light. You can use the cool colors on the color wheel. You can use purple, violet, greens, things like that. You can even use the golden down to the 3rd chakra if you want. I would stay away from red and orange. Maybe you can use orange if you feel so led, but I like staying with white, silver, gold, something like that. Put yourself in that golden ball, or you can simply just surround yourself with God's love or source's love. If you believe in a source, if you believe in God, whomever you talk to, put love and wisdom around yourself. Some people might call it Christ's love around you. All right. So after that, you can simply imagine some sort of reflective something at the edge of your aura, edge of your biofield. So sometimes I tell clients to use like Terminator, like the movie Terminator, liquid metal on the outside that reflects back or returns to sender anything sent to you to try to program you or harm you. Sometimes people use little disco ball mirrors. That's fun too. Now I send it back equivalent, like whatever sent or attempted programming of me, I send it back at an equivalent amount to the sender. Neo-pagan practices and others would suggest maybe ×4 or ×10. You're the boss of your reality, so choose as you wish. I intend to just bless and send out light, but you're also allowed to protect yourself. That is not karma creating. If you're harmed, you're allowed to protect yourself. So I'll leave you with that. Put in the comments section what you think about what I said. Maybe you're already on to all this stuff. Maybe it's new for you. But if you can approach this as wisdom and curiosity, protect yourself, and say something like, I don't consent, I think we're all going to be all right. Blessings, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.